Hey guys, how we doing? It's been a while, but welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to football or soccer TV. And indeed, it has been a while, but I just wanted to make a quick video on the news today. I guess an update on what's going on since I made the last video, and some news about Ahmad Diallo, which we got today. I'm sure most of you guys are aware of already about the situation, but yeah. So let's get into it real quick. So it's been reported that, well, just look it up and you'll be able to see it yourself, that Ahmad Diallo has taken off Manchester United, anything that has to do with Manchester United, on his social media pages. And people were making a big deal about it, saying, oh, he had like a fallout with the manager, or that means he's leaving, or just speculation around this. And rightly so, right? Because if you take that out from your employer, if you take that out from your professional page on social media, then that's like a red flag. That means something. And I've seen a lot of channels today saying that that's very disrespectful of Ahmad doing that and whatnot. But then I saw that, I'm not sure if it's true, but I saw that he posted that like he did it because it's Ramadan, so he wants to like kind of stay away from social media, and that people shouldn't question why his loyalty and why he did that. So a lot of people thought it was because of a fallout with Ten Hag, and he's saying that it's because of Ramadan or whatever, and that's okay. But why do you still have the Sunderland? Why do you still have some of the pictures of Sunderland that from last season in the Championship? So it's a little weird. I don't know if he's like trying to throw in some subliminal messages or whatnot. But in my opinion, I don't think he's being disrespectful. I mean, it's completely different from the situation from Jadon Sancho, in my opinion. Completely. Ahmad doesn't seem like the type of guy to, be very verbal and kind of cause problems in the dressing room or in the club or anything like that. At least from what we've seen, but there's no reports of that happening. Like, for example, Jadon Sancho, there was reports from other clubs and in leaks in the dressing room and all that. So there's no reports of him doing any of that at all in the time that he's been in United. So what I think it is I think that maybe he's had some sort of falling out with the manager, or he's unhappy with the situation. I mean, what football player would be happy with the situation that you're in? And I know, like, he's been injured, but he's been back already. It's not like he's been injured these past few months, and I know you can like ease him in and all this, but we've seen that the manager wants to pick other people in front of him, people who aren't performing. He keeps picking the same players, Rashford and Garnacho. And yes, as he wants to build like a consistent team that can build something together, I get it, right? But then why are you starting Amari Forson? Like, this dude is just so random. Like where the hell did he come up from? I know he's from the academy, but like, what's the whole? Palestri's been there. We sent Palestri out on loan. We sent Alvaro Fernandez out on loan. We sent Ahmad Diallo. We kept for what? For nothing. You know what I mean? For nothing, because he doesn't even get any game time. So any player would be frustrated, in my opinion, from not having any game time at all. So that's that's one thing, and who knows what happens we've in the insides and outs of the club, and we're not there to see it. We could only speculate as fans. But this guy Eric Ten Hag, like, he comes across as some guy that, like, it's easy to kind of not hate, but it's easy to have problems with, because he seems like to be this overly disciplined person, right? And maybe it's the way he said. I don't know if it's the lack of the language of the English language, or maybe how he wants to come across things. But I'm sure that a lot of the players don't like maybe how he might address them, and how he's not actually playing players on merit, and that's something that I guess like we can all understand, because these guys haven't been pulling up any trees. Anthony has been gone from for a while because of the whole situation. Now he's back, and he doesn't start him because he's trash, because he's not good enough. Rashford, yeah, he's been scoring a couple goals here and there, but that doesn't tell the whole story for the season. He's been dreadful, and people, everyone can see. I don't have to say it. Everyone knows that Marcus Rashford's been dreadful. Garnacho started off okay, but it's kind of like faded out. He's not making the right decisions. He's running into blind alleys. He's been infected with everyone else, and he's just playing terribly. And this manager consistently picks these crap players, and instead of giving Amad Diallo some game time. And it's like, what happened to the 40 we spent 40 million on this dude. 40 million, how many years ago? 3 years ago, when we're supposed to, remember that season we were supposed to get him, we were supposed to get Jadon Sancho, but instead we got Palestri and Ahmad, and they're supposed to be like these bright young people that are supposed to come through the club. How many years later? 3 years later or so, these guys are still not starting in the team. These guys are on loan or not getting picked. Why is that? These other players that are high wage players have had their chance. Why not give some? Why not bring him off? Bring him off the bench more often. Why not do that? Why do you gotta keep persisting with these crap players that are, for in my opinion, shouldn't even be starting, right? And yeah, we don't have the depth or anything. That's fine. And if they're starting, their spot shouldn't be guaranteed. If you're playing terrible, I'm gonna bring someone on that is actually gonna play something. No, is actually gonna give something to the team, something different. And I feel like Ahmad would have brought that differentness. Palestri would have brought something different. I know people are saying Palestri's not good enough, and maybe he won't be. But this guy plays for Uruguay. This guy starts for Uruguay in South American football, and it's international football. He goes against the likes of Brazil. I know Brazil is not the same, and Argentina and all these, but it's high level football. It's high intensity football, and he can do a job. He can do something that none of our wingers do: cross the ball, pass the ball, instead of just getting into dumb positions, or dumb positions and just shooting aimlessly and just randomly. These guys are actually play some football, have some link up play. Jadon Sancho was the closest thing that we had to having like a winger that has some good link up play, but he's gone, right? He's gone for the season, and we had two assets right there that we could have used. I've been away. I actually went to Manchester recently to watch a game, and maybe that's dumb on my part because I wasted my money to see this crap football, but at the end of the day, I planned it months in advance, and I don't regret it because I was able to see firsthand on how the stadium felt, how Old Trafford felt. I went to the game against Fulham, which we ended up losing, and it was just the atmosphere was so dead. It was like you wanted to go to an Old Trafford game. It's going to be like one in a lifetime experience. It's like, wow. Like I felt so special that I was there because of the history, and only because of the history, not because of these players. These players don't excite me. I'm not excited to see these players. I'm not excited to see Maguire in the starting lineup. I'm not excited to see Rashford. You know what I mean? I was more excited to see Ahmad when he came on than Forsen. Like, I don't want to bash the kid, but why is this guy even starting? You know what I mean? we have a $40 million asset that ripped up the championship, ripped it up. And why isn't he starting ahead of Forsen? I don't want, what's so special about Forsen? To me, like, I don't see anything special about this guy. That he's United level, and maybe Ahmad and Palestri aren't United level, but they definitely will bring something else. And Garnacho right now is not United level. Rashford right now is not United level. Anthony is not United level. Why not give opportunities to these other guys? I don't get it. I don't get why this man. I don't know if it's because he has to play these players because of the contracts or because you're getting paid high wages. But there's something wrong, in my opinion. I feel like there's something wrong with how he treats the players. The management of this guy is not there. And Ahmad, in my opinion, deserves better. I feel like a lot of these players that haven't been given their chances, that are better, in my opinion, or have the potential to be better, or haven't even been given a chance. Like, you need to be given a chance, but this guy is just playing survival football, so he's just going with what he knows, and that's that's part of the problem. And I'm happy I went to see to that game. I actually went to the derby as well. I went to the derby, and for anyone who knows about United and the games over there in England, or if you're in England or wherever in the world you are, the games over there is like you have to sit in an away end and you have to get an away ticket, and then you gotta there's the home side, this home section, and the away section was like all the way in the back of the stadium, and it was like in the parking lot, and there was cops and asking you to are you the away end or home end, and obviously if you're in the home end, they don't let you in because it's so hostile, the environment. The derby is like a huge game, and the environment is so hostile because there's a lot of rivalry, there's a lot of history in between those two teams, Manchester City and Manchester United. So I was at the Etihad Stadium, and I went to the away end, and my ticket happened to be like right on the edge of where the away end like seats are, and the home end and the home side starts. So it's like on the edge. So I'm hearing it by I'm hearing these Mancunians, these City fans, just curse us out, just saying just cursing us out. And they're giving us the big end, and we're giving it to them back, and whatever. It was banter, and but then it became worse than banter. It became like personal, to a point where we're like insulting each other on how we look, and we're just saying like hateful things. And these City fans have no respect, like, at all. And they hate us, rightly so. They should hate us. Because there's only City fans in that city. There's no other City fans anywhere else in the world. So for me, I never experienced anything that, especially from a City fan. I would expect that from like over here, at least in the US, like from a Liverpool fan or an Arsenal fan or whatever. But these guys absolutely hated us. So when we scored the goal, all nice, we were giving it the big end. But then they scored 1, 2, 3 goals, and I'm right there in the edge, and these guys are literally cursing at me, trying to spit at me, saying hateful things, all of them. And I've never been so embarrassed in my life. I've never been so embarrassed in my life to be a United fan. I went to that derby. I got humiliated. I paid money to get humiliated, and I was sitting right on the edge between the away end and the home end. And there was obviously like cops and police officers like in between. Like, I literally wanted to fight these guys because I was just so pissed off. I was so pissed off at these guys. And like, now I hate City even more. Like, Liverpool, whatever. Arsenal, whatever. Of course, I don't like those guys. But City is the worst for me right now. It ranks like I hate these guys the most, and now it's personal because of that experience. And City wasn't even playing that good that day, and we still persist with picking these same players, and I just don't get it. Anyway, I kind of went off a little bit there, but I just wanted to share that experience that I had as my first time going to these games, and first time being in Old Trafford, first time being at the Etihad, first time being in Manchester in general. There's more City fans, and Manchester is definitely blue and is not red anymore, and that's sad. That's sad, and it's not because of the manager not picking Diallo. That's not my point. I guess my point is that Manchester United shouldn't be this type of club, right? We shouldn't have this type of manager. We shouldn't have these type of problems. And it's just a shame, and it's just a big shame and a big disgrace of where we are. I'm going in a rant of like being a fan, you know what I mean? But like it hurts, like like it really hurts as a fan, like to see that football and to see your team that you love, that you spend so much time or money or whatever it is. Like I said, I'm happy I went because I got to experience that, my team in the low, and understand that this is not acceptable. None of this is what's happening and is acceptable. The manager, everything that he's doing isn't acceptable. Having him still in a job for this long isn't acceptable. Him falling out with players, him not choosing the right players, not the right setup, not choosing the right setup, is unacceptable. None of these things would last at a big club. Big club make big decisions. We're not a big club anymore. We're not. We make financial decisions. We make decisions that suit the owners instead of suiting us, And it should be all about us. It should be all about the fans, And I know some channels are like, I don't get this whole Ahmad thing, or I don't get why people are raving about Ahmad, and like it's not a big deal, and maybe it's not, because no player is bigger than the club at the end of the day. And if he leaves, I hope he leaves. I hope Ahmad leaves so he can get the game time that he deserves. So he can get the respect that he deserves, because he's not getting that United, But it just goes to show that we're not that club anymore, And I know a lot of people are saying, keep this manager until we have the structure. You want to give him a chance with this whole structure. But to me, I've seen enough already. I've seen enough to know that even with a good structure, this guy's not going to pick the right players. Even with the good structure, this guy's game management is crap. I've seen enough from this guy to know that he can set up a team correctly. I've seen enough from this guy that he can get the best out of these players. And these players, for all you want to say that they're crap and yes, they're rubbish and not good at all, but don't tell me that we can't get a tune out of these players. Don't tell me that we can't at least play some okay football. We don't play any type of okay football. We play dreadful football. For anybody who's been to these games recently, go to an actual game and you'll see how boring it is. You'll see how bored everyone is. There was like a 9-year-old in back of me screaming at these players to pass the ball, screaming at them to, why are you playing so bad? Why are you playing a crap pass? It's like a 9-year-old kid just screaming in back of me. If a 9-year-old kid could see that the football isn't good, why can't you? Why can't people who want this manager in because they don't want to change anything, how can't you see it? If a kid can see it, why can't you? Because you're blind? Because you choose not to? Or because you love pain? You love seeing your club in pain? You love seeing your club play crap football? Come on, man. Like, I feel like people's standards have been lowered so low, and maybe that has to do with the owners kind of building those standards throughout the last 10 years, but not for me. I'm after that experience that happened with City and at the way end, I don't want to be like that ever again. I don't want to go through that ever again. And I'm not changing my club because I love my club. I'm not changing the team because I love my team. I just hate what's going on right now, and it's I'm not looking forward to any game. I'm not looking forward to seeing any game. You kind of fall in love without, and you fall out of love from this team, from this football team. Something that we live and breathe. Some of us, some of you content creators are amazing and spend so much time and money, and maybe that's what keeps us going at the end of the day. That's what keeps us going. But for me, there needs to be some sort of change. And I know last video I made, I was Eric Ten Hag but I was only in because I wanted to, I was on the board, I was on the bandwagon where, it was bigger problems than the manager at the time. And there was. But after seeing that, us going out of the Champions League like we did against Bayern, which wasn't even good, which we couldn't even penetrate, which we couldn't even do anything against Bayern, and a Bayern that was not even the best Bayern. They were 6 out of 10. They weren't even that great. That just hurt me. It's I want to be able to challenge for big trophies. I want to be able to last year when we beat Barcelona, that was a great feeling. Everybody loved that feeling. That's the feeling that we all want back. We want to beat the big teams. We want to, you want to be the best. And after seeing that, I'm I can't accept this anymore. Screw all these problems. I know we got bigger problems. I know the structure isn't great. I know all this crap. But there's things that you can't blame the structure from. You can't blame the structure from this manager making these decisions. There's better players than the ones that are playing, and he doesn't pick them. Why? Why is he playing survival football? If you're going to go out, don't go out and whimper. Go out with your own philosophy. But you know what? They're not going to do that. And it's good because it's going to ruin this guy's reputation, which is fine. I'm okay with that. You want to ruin your own reputation? Great. Ruin your own reputation. You're not going to get a big job ever again. You're going to go back to Ajax or go back to some crap team, and a part of me wants that to happen because the damage that this guy has done, apart from the Glazers, of course, the Glazers and, John Murto and the board, everyone knows that it's not good enough. Everyone knows that. But apart from that, Eric Ten Hag has caused us more damage than good. And we're supposed to build on last season. Last season was a good stepping stone from the season prior to that one. And we're supposed to build on it, but we didn't. So what happens? We change our mind. And we're allowed to change our minds as fans. Because we see something that the season's almost over already. There's 10, 11 more games. The season is almost over. And we have not seen any progress. Any. And we got some of our players back. And people want to say about injuries. We got some of our players back. And yes, we were playing okay. But then again, it happens. I don't want to hear about these injuries, about these players with these injuries. I don't want to hear that. You saw the other day how Liverpool played against City with players like Kwanzaa and Elliott and whatever, Kwanzaa, Daquan, whatever the hell. Dude, who are these players? But they play a system. They play a philosophy because Jurgen Klopp and the club instills that philosophy and embeds that philosophy into their heads, into their minds. It's part of who they are. It's part of who the club is. What are we? We're crap. We're no longer big Man United. We're no longer big Man United. We're little man. We're little man, bro. That hurts. But it's the truth. It's the truth, man. I accept it, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be okay with it. I will never be okay with that, ever. So, point is, I'm tired of this manager falling out with players. I'm tired of him not giving, these players deserve to be given a chance. I'm tired of seeing this crap football, and you know what? Whatever happens to Ahmad, I'm happy for him because he deserves to shine. Palestri deserves to shine. Alvaro Fernandez deserves to shine. All these other players that have been here, the players are crap too. Don't get me wrong. The players, I'd get rid of all of them. All of them. Bruno, Rashford, all of them. They have blame too. They have huge blame. But at the end of the day, who keeps picking these players? It should be on merit. It shouldn't be on how much you get paid. It shouldn't be because you're the captain. It shouldn't be which the manager made him captain. It shouldn't be about the wages. It shouldn't be about anything. It should be about winning games and playing the best football we can play, using our best assets, building up players, developing players. That's what Man United should be about. It shouldn't be about survival football. And if you're okay with that, and then that just shows like your standards as a fan. It doesn't mean you're not a real fan. You probably are a real fan. You invest just as much time as we do. But your standards are so low, and if that's something that you want to do, and then that's fine. No one's gonna judge you at the end of the day. Do you, bro? Do you? But for people who are Erik ten Hag out, those are the people who are awake. Those are the people who love the club and we just want to see the best for our club. Just like Erik ten Hag inners love their club, and maybe they have to go through pain first, and they want to wait for the process. We don't have time to wait, dude. We don't have time. Every year goes past by on, we fall further and further back. We don't have time anymore. Liverpool is going to get another manager that will suit their style. They're going to get Edwards in. He was great. He did amazing for them. He's probably going to keep doing the same thing for them. And we're going to fall behind again and again. Dan Ashford, we got to get him in ASAP. What are we doing, man? We got to get him ASAP. We're just going to fall further behind. And the fact that we can't get rid of these players, we're going to have to wait another at least 2-3 years to get rid of everybody. What is the best thing for us right now? To get a manager that can get the best out of these current players until we clear house. Because these players aren't going anywhere. These players are staying for another 2-3 years. They're not going anywhere. So what's the point of keeping this manager if you've already seen what he can do with these players? And it's not great. And it's not much. And it's crap. Get in a person who can get the best out of these players, and we can little by little get rid of the ones that we need to get rid of, because realistically we're not going to get rid of them in one transfer window. It's going to take a couple years. So get the right and the best person for this job for these players. Have us at least consistently in the top 4 until we start building something, and then maybe we can get a project manager once all these players are gone. But we need an identity, and that starts with the style of football, and that starts with the manager, and everything else. Director of football, all of that, of course. But we don't have that at the moment. And we're going to fall further and further and further behind. So, if you want to trust this process, go ahead, trust it. But it's not going to take us anywhere. Because you're too blind to see it. But anyway, man. It's good to be back. I needed that to get that rant to get off my chest, but yeah, I'm not surprised if Ahmad had a falling out with the manager at all. I'm not surprised. But you know what, Ahmad, just go do your thing, bro. You deserve that. Go do your thing. You're not the one that we should be getting rid of in the summer, but unfortunately we are. But that just shows where we are as a club. And if you go and you rip it somewhere else, you're just gonna expose the club, which I want you to do. So big up to you, bro. And yeah, I'll probably be back definitely soon. I want to start doing some live videos and everything, and anyone who wants to do a live video with me as well, and you want to discuss United, that'd be great. Just hit me up. On the socials. I'll post it in the description, but it should be Football or Soccer TV on all platforms, all socials. But yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. If you're still watching, if not, then that's cool too. Smash a like in the video. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll be back before you know it. Thank you guys so much.